Before we proceed, I have a question. Can I ask?
Just a second. Go ahead, Alka.
So, David, this question is for you. We watched the anti-me yoga in the watch party, and I don't know if you were there at the watch party, but you were definitely there in the archive video they were playing. Um, do you remember that? The anti-me yoga, which is
The
the
what?
part of the anti-me yoga, the anti-me yoga. There was an entire talk where you were a part of that group, and EJ was talking about the concept of anti-me. It's the part of you that doesn't want you to win. Do you remember that talk?
Um, Help me remember it. I was not at the watch party. It's starting to sound familiar though.
Yeah, so you were a group of people sitting in EJ's the space outside the kitchen, and there was this lady who asked this question, and EJ was saying that often people get very irritated that what is this thing that is eating at me? What is it? It's irritating me. But they don't realize that it is a part of themselves. And then he said that it is not even a part of themselves. That and this is a part of something else. And in that, he also said that the brains in the community, everybody is sharing a single brain. Everybody is connected, and you're a part of a entire whole. And he said this is the seventh dimension of yoga, so Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga. It's not that you have to go through one after the other to reach to the next level. All of them happen parallelly. So I'm adding another dimension of yoga, which is the seventh dimension of yoga, which is the anti-me yoga. It's you versus you. Um,
You what as you?
you versus you. It is a part of you that
Oh,
doesn't win. And then he was also talking that the fight for the soul starts when the moment you're born, you know, and it's the part that. So I wasn't able to. I joined it a little late, and I wasn't able to follow the whole session, and it wasn't very clear to me. So I thought that I'd ask you about it.
good. Yeah. It's a good topic. It's a great topic.
Do you remember that talk now?
No,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
remember the topic. So what, so the premise, did anybody else go to the watch party?
I think Nishant was there and Jayesh was there.
When was this, Alka?
Saturday,
Saturday.
11:30 IST,
Yeah,
which
I
is
I got
10
an
a.m.
email about it. I couldn't go. Anyway, so so the idea is we're fighting for our essential self from the moment we're born. Is that the concept?
No, it's the concept of the white and black within you. He said it has to come to a harmony. And he said blue lining is a way to achieve that. I wanted to know, how does it come to harmony? How does it come into a a balance where this and
Excuse
that
me.
you can it's all one. It becomes, he said that it's no longer you being pulled in one direction, pulling in different direction. It all becomes unified.
Hmm.
How does it become unified is my question.
Yeah, what's the answer to that?
He said blue lining. He said
Okay.
blue lining is a solution for that for our group, but I'm sure it's other things as well. um
Yeah. I mean, when that talk originally happened, they weren't doing blue lining.
Hmm.
They were doing blue lining, and that's why
Or maybe
it.
they were just starting it. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So let me ask it in a different way. Why did it affect you?
It affected me because, I can actually, and I have spoken to EJ about, seeing white clouds and black clouds, and earlier, and he had said, yeah, that's all that's there. And that thing has been bothering me, and there comes time when I'm able to see that dark whole thing scattered. Sometimes I'm able to see it as a, like, it's actually looking at another thing, and you're looking at it right in front of you,
Yeah.
like a whole thing composed, the whole thing scattered, and it always bothered me that it is something from the outside, but when I hear that it is me, then how do I kind of, and I've had some things wherein I see those things as, knots in my consciousness. Somebody has
Yeah.
said something, and I see it as a knot that has formed. Um, and then I feel that it's about working around with those knots. But when you start doing that, there is a process of compromise. There is a process of, you try to do something, but then there is another sets of emotions that flood in. So it's kind of complex. I want to reach that state of harmony wherein that's not a
You
thing
do?
with me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I heard a talk by somebody he was a great educator. And but he was also his brother was a saxophone player at a pretty fairly professional level. So his brother uh, invited him to this concert that his brother was playing at with his band. And this educator, in giving his talk, he said the drummer was just stunning. He was just a great drummer. And because it was his brother, after the show was over, he was invited back to the back, to talk with the musicians. And he said to the drummer, he says, "Wow, that was fantastic. You're really good." He says, "I wish I could play drums like that."
Mm-hmm.
And the drummer said to him, "No, you don't." Or, yeah, I think he said, "I've always wished I could play drums like that." And the drummer says, "No, you didn't, because you would have been compelled to work like that." Now, the last chapter that we just read was called, um, had to do with wonder, right? Developing a sense of wonder in everything we
Mm-hmm.
do. Do you know the concept of spiritual bypassing? Has
It's
anybody
kind of.
heard of that?
No.
Well, you haven't. Spiritual bypassing is like the concept of I just want to be one with God, you know, and I love everybody in the world except that little prick next boy next door that I live, you know. Um, you, the path, every one of us has got a unique path. Here's where I am right now in my own particular little work, okay, is I think I was born with exactly the karmic troubles that I had to face and overcome.
Mm.
And it's kind of weird because, you all know that I was adopted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 3 days old when I was adopted. So think of that from an electrical point of view. I'm in this woman's body for 9 months. I come out and immediately I'm taken away.
Mm.
Now you can say, oh, wow, that's really interesting. What a strange. No, what if that was my karma for that to happen? And I had to work on whatever, right? And I had to work on like things like, of course, I would be working on trying to please everybody, right?
Mm.
Because I've been taken away from the source and I just want to get back. So if I embarrass myself, whatever that means, by like seeking people's pleasure, fulfilling my dark side, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
But
Mm.
um at but in I'm discordant with my character and my essential self.
Mm.
No big deal, the universe says. Hey, if anybody can figure out the bridge between those two, it's you. But don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a whole lifetime to figure it out.
But the essential self then becomes extremely important to understand the essential self. Then the essential self, is it the essence of everything that you've gone through, right? It includes your memory of past lifetimes, it includes your past experience, and the essence of all of that is it makes your essential self. Or are you saying when you're referring to essential self, you're saying it is the original absolute
It's
fragmented?
the original absolute. I long. So, in my essential self, my particular essential self, the characteristics of it go in line 5 of Per Absolute with
Okay.
yearning, with yearning. My presence wishes to comfort thee. I wish to go home. I wish to
Okay.
find my home.
So that is the only thing then that's the only self, and everything else is a dark side.
No, no, no. But you want to call it the dark side because then you can throw it away. But I think I've been given my dark side so that I can work with that power. There's so much power in it. And if I can convert it so that it's working on behalf of the essential self, then I've got what was that one book we read a long time ago?
HBM,
What's the title again?
Human Biological Machine as a Transformational Apparatus.
Ah, as a transformational apparatus. All these dark things that, and you know that. Oh, I wish I didn't have that. I'm just going to take it out like the uh, the Christian monks. You know the celibacy, poverty, obedience. You know, they just, I'm never gonna, for the men, I'm never gonna look at a woman. For the women, it's, I'm never gonna let a man touch me. And somehow that'll make you pure. That's a technique. It is.
Then everything else other than the essential self is the dark side, right, David?
I don't call it the dark side. I just call it,
No, just for
yes.
labeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What I call it is I've been given my, what do they call it? I've been given my work assignment. Now, everybody here, I haven't met everybody here. I have met Bernie. This is a very, very sweet man. But I've not actually met the rest of you, though I'm still, I may in this lifetime make it to Detroit and I get to meet these two individuals face to face. But we're so different, correct?
Yeah.
Yet we all show up at this class. What is that? We're extremely different and we all show up. So you can call it the dark side and I'm going to get away from it and stuff like that. But what about converting it? Ah,
Converting it, can you convert it? Like just
yes.
being in the present moment, that's the only solution.
Yeah.
Oh,
What chapter is it?
can you convert it?
Oh, yeah.
Can you give
Chapter
me-
20 of the HBM. The electrical affinity of the essential self and the machine. The relationship between the essential self and the machine is based on seduction and affinity, electrical in nature between their electrical fields. Evolution thus means transformation of the electrical field of the essential self in such a way it is free for it to be free from this affinity so that it is not addicted to the machine. And at some point, if you read that chapter again, the machine suddenly sees the essential self and falls in love with it. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Adoration of the machine.
The adoration. And if we like, you know, this practice of wonder for 1 week is quite beautiful. And you wonder, and then I see all these things that I do that I go, oh my God, why did I do that? I did it. The beginning is objective observation without judgment. Boy, is that hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you take your darkest self, and don't forget, EJ, the work is a spiral, right? It's a spiral. It, it's circling around the same ideas higher and higher. And in that talk that he was sharing with us on the watch party, at first you have to recognize there's a machine and an essential self. We're not convinced of that. That's why so many chapters are self-observation, right?
Yeah. And also gathering evidence.
Gathering evidence of sleep is a beautiful concept. Then you have to realize, then gradually the beauty of the essential self starts to come forth. The flower that's the essential self. And I want to live there too. And then if your neighbor bothers you and you get angry at them, what happened? Where was the flower? So right now I'm of the opinion that my job is to work out my karmic work orders. I was given work orders, Alka.
By who? By yourself.
Me. Because when I died, I said, dude, you really blew it again. You keep getting caught in this karmic habit. and I'm all clear and beautiful at that time. And I go, okay, I gotta choose a life where I can work out, in my case, my proper relationship to authority and the concept of grasping the concept of my own agency. You know, so quite an opportunity. What a beautiful opportunity. I'm not putting down the monks and nuns that want to live in a life of, sequestered life. Okay. That's okay. I don't have that opportunity. Have I wanted it? 100%, baby. 100%.
I have a couple of more questions. So when we are talking about it manifests on your like your auric field also, right? You feel that you're stuck at places.
That I what?
You feel in your auric, your body, you feel that you're stuck at places, right? Um,
What do you mean by stuck?
like you're a part of a whole, and every day is a fight for every day is a fight for being more you.
Okay. Already.
So that's also, so what is it? So we are connected through the essential self, which is everybody's connected through that, and how you can be more of it by being more of it. Um,
I mean, there's 1,000 stories, particularly in your culture, of the guru and the student, where the guru, remember the story about where the guru's by the river there, and the guy, the student comes and says, "Oh, I want you to be my teacher." And the guy says, "Go away, come back." He comes back the next week and I really, 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 I mean it. I want you to be my teacher. Go away. Comes back the third week and the teacher says, "Okay, come over here." He's standing, like to his knee in the river, right? Doing whatever he's doing. And he grabs the student and he holds his head under the water
mhm.
until just before he drowns. And he pulls him out. The guy's going, "Oh." And the teacher says, "When you want the teaching as much as you wanted air, then you'll be ready." So the growing, for me, the growing yearning for being closer to my original home is getting stronger and stronger by the year. Mainly when I first came to EJ's, I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to know what the rules were, how I could fit in, what group I should be with, how I could please everybody. And you're learning at the same time. Okay. There's two beings. We are two electrical beings. This is the brilliance of the human biological machine.
So one more question, David, quickly.
Sure.
So when we're working in a group and we are all a part of a single organism, then it's the dark side is not just one person's dark side, it is the dark side of all those individuals in a
Absolutely.
composite as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we were all together in a group and I said, "Hey, let's go out and get an adult beverage together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
Let's
in that
go.
session, I had a beer that day, and in that anti-me, EJ is clearly saying that, guys, steer clear of alcohol. I was like, oh God, that one rare beer.
And we don't know what crazy Bernie is going to lead us into, or God knows what Swati is going to say,
So
or
this is endless
Rajesh.
because
Oh
we
my
are not just
God.
connected to our community, we are connected to our families, and then the neighbor. It's like just, oh my God.
And then there's Nikhil. Oh my God. But nevertheless, we came together to work in spite of the incredible.
It's quite simple, essentially. It's just about like just doing the work. It's just that simple.
So when I was considering coming to EJ's group in the mid 60s, uh, have you heard of Lee Lozowick? Have you ever heard of that
Yeah.
name?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So he was in Boulder. I was living in Denver, and he'd come into Denver and Boulder, and he knew I was very interested in what EJ was doing. And he said, basically, I was asking him a bunch of questions, and he knew I was an idiot, but he answered them anyway. And he said, he says, look, the single most important thing you can do is to persist.
Okay, I got my answers. Thank you so much, David. This helps me understand the concept of anti-me. Anti-me is everything except essentials. Uh, okay, good. Thank you so much. Now I'm AFK and getting ready.
Go get ready for work.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This just makes me so much happier.
Lovely to hear your voice. Take care. Well, now that Elka's gone, we can talk about her behind her back.
Her dark side. Let's
That,
talk about
that
it.
it was Swati that we're going to talk about her,
Oh.
and she left. Okay, no more fun. The work on self is accelerated when you live in a community together. Why is that? Based on all this we've just been talking about with Elka.
Because I think when you are living together as a community, it invites situation that would create pressure,
What does that even
friction,
mean, pressure?
uh, substance that would help you in the work.
Anybody else?
Is it the same as inspiration?
Okay, inspiration. There might be some inspiration. But the other thing is that your personality, Rajesh and Swati and Bernie, your personalities and Nikhil would rub me the wrong way. And my personality would, right? But we know we're together because we love the higher self. We love the work. So we put up with that. But our personalities are revealed much more quickly in a group setting. It's harder to hide. And as Elka was saying, the anti-me is easy for you to hide from yourself, but it's not that easy to hide from your fellow workers.
Sometimes I think the old vows of marriage that now is uh, so um, fun about it. Oh, young people, they they make the vows of marriage, and after 2 months, they say, "No, I don't like." I found that the life, communal life, marriage life, is not for me. I don't like him. I just found who she was or who how he was. Um, but I've I've been married more than once, of course. So I know I don't bring myself as an example, but um, in a close marriage, it's very the same as the vows of a monk in a way. You have to
Yes.
endure. You have to endure day by day uh, the things of the other person. And in these times, we are very accustomed that once we don't like something, we depart. Uh, I bring this as an analogy. I don't want you to think that I am for marriage or against marriage. It's a kind of analogy that is interesting because in a group you can see yourself in the eyes of others, through the eyes of others. If the others really want to help you, and if you really want to help them, that's it.
I agree, Bernie. Marriages are really, really helpful. I'll tell. Yeah. And in Rajan Vakil's words, I'll say somewhere as in the similar line that David mentioned while answering Alka's question, that we ourselves, when we were very good consciousness wise, we had invited those events of our life consciously to rise in the ladder of consciousness. That's how Mr. Rajan put it. So maybe
Yeah.
he invited those bad marriages to grow.
Yeah. We're going to save 5 minutes at the end to discuss what book to read next, but I'm really taken with this idea of that I've selected this lifetime, and I think it was pretty good. It was a pretty good selection. I wound up with a group of very devoted workers, you know, and the joy of this group here. So I did pretty good.
And there is some similarity between your life and Krishna's life. He was also abandoned from his biological parents.
See, I'm like Krishna.
Yeah,
Yay!
of course.
Boom! I can stop working now.
Uh-oh, Swati, no.
Get one flute.
Well, those guys, I mean, think about, and I have not studied much on Krishna, but I have read the Gitas a few times. I mean, a guy that's that not guy, I mean, he's just beyond the beyond, right? But he came back and talked to this horseman, this bow, this archer, and spent all this time doing that. You know that when he was speaking, when he spoke with Arjuna, that 2,000 years later, I would be reading that book. That's the responsibility he knew he had.
I think that's very true. Like he knows who would be the audience or listeners or whatever, like the beneficiaries of his talks or the message he gave to. Like the medium was like directed to the Arjuna in a way, but we
Yeah.
all were in his vision that time, that whosoever would be benefited, you know. Yeah, I think they have everything planned. I have several incidents that happen in my life that, you know, like my dad used to have the huge library of Osho's books, and many of his friends will come. And I lived in, like, you know, a very remote area where hardly this kind of things are available. And many of his friends who are into this work will come. They will grab the book, like, oh, you know, I want this book. Have you already read? My dad will say, okay, yeah, just take it if you want. And then those books will never return. One point of time when I was maturing, I'm like, Dad, are you out of your mind? These are so costly books, and you are just giving away like that. And you know they are never given, ever like returning. So my dad says, do you know what? That's why I'm giving them out, because master has that plan that I am the medium and the book has to flow through me. It has already came to me and now has gone to the hands of people wherever it is supposed to be. His whole life he used to, like, you know, give away books like that. So
So, have you guys ever heard of Padmasambhava? Did you ever hear of that guy?
no, not really.
No,
This would have
not
been an
really.
eighth century master. He, some huge, another huge guy. He thought the that humans needed the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So he, however they do it, he downloaded it, basically, is what our words would be now. But then he said, they're not quite ready for it. So he buried it. And then it was found a few centuries later by one of his student, like then that's called a Karmalingpa, who he actually found the physical book. Then it became available to mankind. Isn't that interesting?
The Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Mm.
So he wrote
So,
it, and then he goes, but they're not quite ready for it. I'm going to bury it over here. And listen, Swati, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You were born into a family where some guy is sitting there reading tons of spiritual books, right?
Yep.
Your papa.
All
And
right.
of the 8 billion people on the planet today, how many people had a father like that?
Mm.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
And
when I came there, right, at the ashram for the convention that time, Patricia and the Wilson, I don't know what's her real name, Wilson Cloud Chamber. So two of these ladies were there at the LRS where is the like apple orchards are there. Then my mom and dad were working there, and then we all were sitting at one point in time. So they both of them mentioned that, it's not just this time you guys are meeting. Like, you guys were playing different roles, but you three were traveling since long together and growing. So
And these, I call those the word an eddy, like in a river or a lake. The
Eddy
eddy,
currents.
like it's a current.
mhm.
These are the eddies of karma that have brought us together tonight.
Mm.
You know, my father, when I was 19 years of age, and I was really just starting to swallow spirituality, and I just fell in love with it. And I had Madame Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine. And on the cover it said, "Know thyself." And I remember saying to my father, man, I really, really, I'm so excited about that. I really want to know myself. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, well, I know who I am. I'm the guy that's talking to you. It was like he just put my whole thing down. But I grew up surrounded by the great books of the Western world, cyclopedias, the highest of art you can imagine, and great music. So I was involved in a womb of learning, but he couldn't go there, but he had provided that to me. I'm very thankful.
So again, that is also not accidental, right? That they adopted, or that you're talking about that father, right?
The adoptive
Yeah.
parent.
So I think, yeah, nothing is accidental. I think it was all invited and planned, very well planned, I would say.
So last time when you came, I met your mother, but I did not meet your father that night. But next
Oh
time.
yeah, because he couldn't, like he was very tired. He had a very open heart surgery last year. So daytime, like we dragged him to the apple orchards, and he got dizzy and like fell down actually in afternoon at the ashram. So
He did right. He did right. But
yeah.
next time I'll meet him for sure. And your daughter, by the way. Okay. I'm going to keep
Mm.
reminding you to figure out that technical, how do we bring her?
We don't have to. It is already planned somewhere in the time.
Okay.
That will happen, David. I trust that.
Oh my goodness gracious. So we're in a sense lucky, right? The six of us here this evening, because we found each other. We found our fellow workers.
Sangha.
We found the Sangha. That's right. Do you guys ever go on Facebook? Do you ever see Facebook? No?
I do a lot.
You do.
Yep.
Go look at Bernie's postings. Somebody's got to grab those for him. Everything he's written and make a book out of it because he's never going to do it. But it's really good stuff, right? He's a good writer, deep thoughts, complete thoughts too.
I think I had gone through a few of his posts, and you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Yep.
Pretty precious.
It's a
So,
gem.
so what book are we going to do next? Because, Nikhil is just rushing us through this practical work on self book here. And we're going to be done within 2 or 3 weeks. Do we continue? Do we abandon this group?
Maybe we can continue on what the Alka was talking about. Was there any book she was referring, or
No, that was she was talking about a talk that had been given. Yeah. We have EJ's stunningly prolific. You know that.
Yeah.
So we have we done excuse me. And these aren't all his books that I've got here. I've got a lot of them here though. Have we done the talks of the month?
No, we have not. Number 21.
There's I've got all of them, but that's just let's see. The angelic character, angelology, garden of the oracle in the garden, and the garden is quite beautiful. Anyway, there's 50 of these. Conflict management is a good one. That might be a good one for Alka. The ABCs of love. We all like that one. Anyway, or what do you think, Bernie? What should we do next?
I'm not sure, but thought I thought the Robert the Rob was a good start because it's very simple, and we need to understand structure of this kind of teaching. The
Mhm.
traps, Nick probably knows. He read it. There is a
Yeah,
chapter about the traps of wanting and desire and to
right.
be perfect and all that things. No, so I
Yeah,
think we could do a quick reading, maybe 10 pages, or 2 chapters a week. I don't know, but
yeah.
anyway, of course we are open. I don't know if this is a democratic decision by voting, but
Yeah, I was
anyway,
also kind of like pushing towards master game, but then again, it is quite a demanding book, and there is a lot to go through, which would require us to read the chapters before before coming to the meeting and committing to it with some discipline. So,
uh, I would say even this group is directed by Nick, and you have the final word, I think. I think also
I
the experience of David is very important. So, what do you think, David? Also,
Well, I want to hear what's bubbling in the group. What's bubbling thoughts, desires, wishes.
Swati
well,
Rajesh, if you were given the chance to decide what book to choose, what would that be and why?
I will go through the list. Now, the only book I have read so far is this one which we have been reading. So for me, all book will be the new book.
Nice.
Swati, Alka?
I am kind of on the same page as the Rajesh is like not read many of EJ's books, so
Life in
not
the
sure.
Labyrinth, I think is what she's saying there.
Life in the Labyrinth?
Yeah, I think we can go with that one.
Yep.
I can't speak for myself. Uh, if I have the opportunity of uh, some person coming into me asking, uh, what I involved with, I probably advise him to read one or two books of De Rob first, because there is a plain description of what this work is all about. And I think that is very important, because if you start, as we all sometimes want, if you go for a job and say, okay, what are you, why are you decide? Oh, well, I want to be president. No, you have to start low, very low, and go slowly. And the rope has a like say a curse in going step by step, and that was very important to me. I have the luck that when I was there in the school, I choose three books from this the Rob. I don't know why, because I never read them. And some companions said, "No, why don't you take that?" And I remember Uncle Claude, making silence and said, if he choose those books, let them read them. So I had a good advice, because it turned my mind into the earth, so to say.
Mm.
And that I think is very important to bring down our expectations and our fantasies down, because we have
Yeah.
a lot. So anyway, that's my posture.
And I think Life in the Labyrinth is way more advanced uh, when you compare it to HPM, even though it's the second in the series. Initially, when we finished Human Biological Machine, I was uh, pushing towards Life in the Labyrinth because that seemed like the natural uh, order, given it's the order of the series. But then I quickly realized that even though it's the uh, second book in the series, it's quite advanced, and further reading is required before you move into Life in the Labyrinth. Yeah, I vote for I vote for Master Game by Robert de Ropp. Uh,
Well, we don't need to make a decision tonight, and there are other members of the group that,
they're
haven't,
not here.
they're not here at the moment. Um,
But yeah, we have a few chapters to go in Practical Work on Self, so we can keep bringing this up again. Alka says she would love to read one of EJ's books.
well, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. Okay. I guess yeah, we can continue this discussion next week when we have more people joining us. Nishant is traveling this week, so he wasn't able to join us. Uh, but yeah, does that sound like a plan to you guys?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. Then yeah, let's meet next week and continue with Practical Work on Self, chapter 22.
22.
Me too.
If you guys are still up for it next week.
I can remember that long. I might forget as soon as I close this.
Well, it's good that I sent a reminder.
Good seeing everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good